So hello, introduce yourself, tell us who you are.
Thank you. So I'm Jenny Williams. So I run a business called Jenny Williams Consulting, and I am a consultant for women, and I'm the conduit between a life coach and a business coach. So what I do is I holistically help women that have their businesses or that are in a senior level positions and help them create balance, contentment and happiness within their life. So I used to be an overstretched achiever, which is one of those that literally does everything, says yes to everything, becomes an MD of a company and not really sure how I managed to get there. And then all of a sudden go, I'm doing all this stuff and I've got all these wonderful things, but I'm not really being present. I'm not as soon as my daughter came along, I suppose that completely changed my dynamic as well. So becoming a mum definitely made me not lose my identity, but it rocked this I'm a successful career woman mindset into I'm a mum, I'm a career woman, but I want to be both of them. How do I balance the both?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of serving clients that were the previous versions of myself, pretty much. The ones that I worked my way up in my role. I kind of have all these wonderful things that a lot of us kind of materialistically want in our lives. So I'm very grateful for all of that wonderful stuff that got me there. But there is more to life than just the materialistic things. And I think we fight for the money, we fight for the work because work demands us and society demands us to be this certain way. But actually, if we can balance the both and not feel overwhelmed and not feel exhausted and not try and have this mum guilt of like, it's summer holidays, now I haven't done any work. And we've all got mum guilt right now anyway, because we're here and we should be with our kids in the sun, right? But for me, is having the impact on a one-to-one basis. So what I offer one-to-one bi-weekly consultancy meetings, which I call review, reflect, reset. So we literally do those three elements. We review how you've got on, reflect why that's happened, and reset. Right, forget about what's just happened, what we're doing for the next 2 weeks.
Love that.
But that's through all dimensions. So I do a life MOT with them. So it's really much a starting point of where are you with relationships, where are you with your career, your business, financially, internally, how do you feel about yourself, confidence levels, the whole holistic approach really, because I think we spend so much time focusing on kind of the business side, so we might get a business coach that's going to help us fulfill our business needs, but are you looking after yourself? Do you have a daily routine? What's your habits like? All of that stuff. And when you start to kind of align them both, everything starts to move forward together instead of it being my business is booming, but I'm not seeing my other half, or I'm being a great mum, but my business is failing. You know, sometimes we need to just cut ourselves a break anyway.
Yes.
And give us a little bit of time. So that's what I do. I help people just realise that you can do it all.
You can do it.
But you have to change this identity of yourself. I think I lost my identity of like, I used to be this and now I'm this, and what am I now? But actually we can strip it back and just create this new identity. So I do one-to-one coaching. I do corporate workshops as well. So trying to get teams of people to align their values with their culture.
Yeah.
I do a podcast called Unlock Your Happiness Series podcast, which we was just talking about recording.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And I do retreats once a year. So the last one was in Norfolk, which is called Reset and Revitalise Retreat. Lots of R's in my words. And that's purely like, put the phone down, let's go for a walk, let's eat nice food, let's journal, like just talk and connect. Just pause for a second. So that's because I know that's what I would have liked when my previous version would have liked that. And what else do I do? Retreats.
What else do you do?
Lots of stuff. Well, it's mainly them four things. And freelancer, wife, mum, all those other plepharas that are not actually got like target price tags next to them. Yeah, you don't get paid for, but you have to do. So I'm here to help women just really create balance, belief and contentment in themselves. And that comes in different guises. And that's why sometimes it's really hard to go, what do you do? Well, I'm not an accountant. You're not this one-dimensional thing.
No.
But I can help in multi-dimensional ways for these women it's mainly women I work with because I'm looking at the previous version of myself that I'm helping.
Yeah.
But it's helping them evolve and grow and feel happy, really. And ultimately, happy and healthy is the long and short of it, isn't it? So if we've got health, we're good, and if we're happy, we're good, right?
Phenomenal.
So that's what I do, and it's exciting to be here and to be part of this and to meet you. So I've met you guys.
I'm an R, so of course you're going to like me.
Yeah. Got lots of R's, lots of R's going on. So it's really good.
So have you been to the Women in Business Big Show before?
No, and what's really strange? For some reason, I did not know about this event, and I'm always searching networking events and things like that. And it was literally last night that I saw someone post on their Instagram about going, I think it was the Women Business Radio Show. I saw them tag.
So that's
and I then went, what's that? I haven't heard of that before. And then I'm like, oh, there's a networking event tomorrow. I'm like, right. So everything got moved to tomorrow to come here today.
Love that.
But you know, I think the universe sends you all this type of stuff, doesn't it? Like, and that's the thing, is believing it. The things won't pass you by that's meant to happen. Like, I didn't know about it before I put the kid to bed, and then now I was like, oh, hang on, I'm going here. Like, is my trousers ironed? What am I going to wear? Better put some makeup on. You know, all that type of stuff.
I mean,
and we're here.
Now you're being recorded.
And now you're like, can you record me? I'm like, okay,
of course.
But and then I talk too much because you ask me questions, and then suddenly I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh no, I'm grateful, because otherwise I'm going to have to stand it all day on my own just talking. I was
just talking about the people walking by.
Like, yeah, there's a lovely dress over there, and
yeah, and people go, come and talk to us, and then they're like, no.
Oh my god. So like you say, I mean, I've just delivered a talk, and thank you very much for coming, Jenny, as well. But from that, we were talking about your podcast. So what does that do? How does that get into all the things you also do?
Yeah, so what I found is a lot of the time it's hard to connect with women when you're so busy, and unless you're physically at these type of events, it's very hard to connect with the woman that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
And I love podcasts myself. I'm definitely a very Diary of a CEO type podcast listener.
Yes.
And I just loved the fact that he just literally was like, right, where do you come from? What's your background? Tell me about yourself. And then the questions lead from there. And I was like, why can't I do that? There's women all across, especially in Kent, that have a story, that have diverted and pivoted at some point to create either a business or a lifestyle or something that they've created. And people need to hear that. And some people might not want to do it on the cameras, because if you're not naturally a camera, I suppose I've been pushed into that realm. I'm almost like my previous boss was like, oh, can you just film that? And you kind of get used to that fear of being in front of the camera. But with podcasts, it's much like now. We're having a conversation. If the cameras were on or off, it's the same conversation that you're having. And I feel like the podcast opens people up. And I love meeting new people anyway. So I haven't met you until that talk, right? No. And now I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, you're brilliant. And then you get stories and you find out about someone. And then not only do I build my network and I get to meet someone brand new that I didn't know in the first place, they can then share their business, what they do, how they got there. So then other people can relate to them as well. So not only are they relating to me and going, oh, Jen seems great, I want her to work with me, they're also going, oh, this lady that I've met or that I'm listening to, my story is very similar to her and she's got a business, or she's a CEO of a company, or I think sometimes we don't have to have all these big titles, but we just need to see that you can create happiness whatever route you've gone down. So I've interviewed someone last week and they'd gone through divorce, and that was their pivotal moment of change. Now someone might be sitting in divorce right now going, in grief, going, I don't really know what's happened to me, what am I going to do, my world's ended, you don't know. But they might listen to that podcast and then they go, oh, her life changed from the divorce. Maybe like it's almost a little bit of light,
a new beginning.
And it's trying. And if I can help, this is what I've always said with the podcast, and even with coaching and stuff. If I can help one person just think a little bit differently, it's worth the purpose of doing the business, right? And that's what I think with the podcast. If I can just help one person go, do you know what? I'm just going to meditate in the morning and see if that changes my life. Brilliant. Or if they kind of go, I want her to help me change my life. Brilliant. But it's not about a kind of... It's not a
sales technique. It is
it's about a relatable connection. And that's why I do it in one-to-one. So I don't do my podcast via Zoom, which is the con of that is I only have a very limited stretch of people being able to come to me to have the sessions. But the connection of physically being in front of someone, especially through the microphone, is so different to me doing it on Zoom and going, when are you going to finish your conversation? Oh, right. So I'm going to ask you a question now. And you can feel that disjointment in the audio, can't you? And there's not, I'm not slagging off the Zoom podcast and all the rest of it. But I knew when I set it up, I needed that connection, because I naturally I flourish in connection. Like we all do, I think.
I'm exactly the same.
As human beings, we flourish in connection, don't we?
Anyone we obviously work across the country, and they're like, and I'm send them a proposal, and I'm like, if you want to meet for a coffee, they're like, we're in Newcastle. I'm like, I'll grab the train, you know, like I'll come for a coffee for the day. I'm like, what are you saying, Rach? You were not going to go and grab a coffee in Newcastle for a day. But I like human interaction.
Yeah, and I think COVID definitely kind of knocked a lot of that out of us.
Yeah.
But now there's even more of a demand for it. I think before COVID we was connecting and it was all just part of life, wasn't it? Whereas COVID happened and we was all like, oh, I don't really know how to connect anymore. And now we're thriving for this connection because we've lost it and we've almost lost our confidence in it. And now we're like, now we really need it. We need it more than ever. And that's why you see a lot more community groups coming together now. You're starting to see a lot more, I don't know, just people interacting and doing stuff. Yeah. Even if it doesn't create much value, just being with someone for a coffee is the connection that we need, isn't it?
That's it.
And they say that, don't they? It's the tribe and the village that makes us all succeed at the end of the day.
Coffee, cake and creativity, and I'm a happy lady. So don't tell my personal trainer I said that. Yeah. I'm having to cut out some of those.
Yeah. Get that burpee YouTube back out.
Oh God, that's a hard one. So yeah, amazing. So remind people who you are, how they can find you and connect with you as well.
Brilliant. So Jenny Williams Consulting is the business. JennyWilliamsConsulting.com is the website. Instagram is JennyWilliams_consulting. So hopefully it's all aligned and very.
Just Google Jenny Williams. You're going to come up.
You'll literally find it. Yeah. And I'd love to connect. And if there's anyone that's listening that wants to be a guest on the podcast, so I'll drop you a link as well.
I might.
I've got a little kind of application form just to fill in, just to obviously see what you talk about and all that type of stuff. But I'm looking for guests.
I keep going to tell you a bit of my story, and then I'm like, no, save it just in case.
Oh, well, yeah, you can save it just in case. Or tell me off air.
Yeah. So amazing, Jenny. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the talk.
Thank you
definitely
for asking me.
And interacting in the talk as well.
Yeah,
definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Like I said, there's nothing worse than you're talking and everyone's just looking at you, kind of going
I was
with blank eyes, and you're thinking, oh, please someone talk. So the fact that you said, I like it being interactive, I'm like, I'll be your like fan at the back, asking you lots of questions.
And Jenny was amazing. So we will obviously cut this. We'll share it with you, Jenny, and we'll stick it on our YouTube and things as well, and put all their connections on there for you as well. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day here at the Women in Business.
Thank you. Yeah,
and we look forward to connecting very soon.
Cheers. Thank you.